name is Ellen Dunham Jones. I'm the coordinator of the Master of Science in Urban Design here at Georgia Tech, and I'd like to welcome you. I really hope I'll get to meet you in person, but let me use this video to at least tell you a little bit about Georgia Tech, about our MSUD, and I'll tell you a little about myself. I'm something of a geek. I'm trained as an architect, but I really got into urban design because I just love cities, and I really care more about how the buildings operate together than just one in isolation. But I maintain, I believe, the world's only database that tracks successful examples of dead malls, dead big box stores, aging office parks, dying commercial strip corridors, various other prototypical suburban property types that have been retrofitted one way or another into more sustainable places. So the buildings at Georgia Tech for architecture and urban design and city planning, industrial design, we share a lot of the same spaces. We tend to get a lot of light and a lot of life. We actually have 3 ping pong tables and quite a bit of competition between the schools. So what we do with the MSUD is we're trying to train people to go out and be urban designers. So we're bringing together people with backgrounds in architecture, landscape architecture, planning, engineering, to come and work together, learn from each other, and learn how to actually lay out the physical spaces of the cities. What are the actual dimensions of blocks, lots, blocks, streets, public spaces, and how do they work with the natural systems of topography and drainage on the one hand, and then the human systems of transportation and real estate dynamics on the other. And it really makes all of us into futurists. We have to imagine futures that don't quite exist yet, and at the same time learn from the really wonderful places from the past that we still love and are vibrant today. Got these great facilities here. Let me give you a little tour. You can sort of see the campus here. Right now we're in the main College of Architecture building, and we've got our little cafe, very good espresso. And then we've got our library. We have our own library as well as the main campus library, but we have an architecture and urbanism library right here. And the atrium is often a space for a lot of events. And we have some of our digital fabrication installations that the students designed and built themselves, like the bench that we affectionately call Rapunzel. So it's a very short walk from the main College of Architecture building up the hill to the Hinman Research Building, which is where the studios are held. So again, you get a nice, very short but pleasant chance to enjoy the outdoors. You can see the city skyline from here. We're really located right in the center. The College of Architecture is in the center of the Georgia Tech campus. The campus is in the center of the Midtown neighborhood of Atlanta, which is really kind of the hip, booming, fun, innovative district where there's we have over 100 startups, a lot of innovative, entrepreneurial kinds of activities, and a pretty lively food and bar scene. The campus is very walkable, very bikeable. I actually don't own a car. I just bike and sometimes Uber or Lyft or take MARTA. We have a rail system. So it's, I think a lot of the students most of the students don't have a car and don't feel any need to have one here. This semester, I'm teaching a retrofitting suburbia studio, but in fact, we're looking at downtown Atlanta. Downtown Atlanta has over 93,000 parking spaces, which even though it is downtown, frankly, all of those parking lots and parking decks give it some of the attributes of a suburban area that's not as walkable as it should be. So this semester, we've been asked by the City of Atlanta to come up with a 25-year vision looking ahead for what should downtown Atlanta look like when driverless cars begin to significantly reduce demand for all of those parking spaces. So we've got 10 students, a mix of planning students, urban design, architecture students, looking at what do we do with all those old parking decks and parking garages, looking at how do we adaptively reuse some of the older buildings that give downtown that authentic character, but also put in new buildings with some of the newest sustainability features that we can imagine. And also looking at the streets. How do we actually reimagine streets when most of the cars might be driverless cars, and there might be a lot less of them, driverless buses. It's really giving us a great opportunity to, I think, be bold and try to imagine a future that is going to be based on a technology that none of us really know where it's going to go. But at the same time, recognize how do we build on the really good bones that downtown has that should make it a much more walkable, much more lively place. So that's our little mini tour, mini introduction. Come on over to Atlanta so that we can show this place to you in person. Look forward to meeting you soon.